preparation for Tropical Storm Ian.
Keep the water out of your place if it actually gets to that point. Got a safe concern.
All 67 counties in Florida are under a state of emergency as the National Hurricane Center keeps a close eye on the storm's projected track, which could change in the coming days.
CBS's Christian Benavides. The cleanup continues in eastern Canada after a powerful storm lashed the region on Saturday. Volunteer firefighter Greg Cook wants to wave Ripple Home from its foundation.
We watched the house over here just completely get ripped off its foundation by a wave. And there was actually a house behind me where we were standing, and that's completely gone now. And we watched that one just disappear. Absolute chaos. Put it simply, this is the most surreal experience of my life. Never seen anything like it.
American officials say they've been demanding privately that Russian officials stop talking about using nuclear weapons in Ukraine. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken on 60 Minutes.
I'm not going to get into what the consequences would be. Any use of nuclear weapons would have catastrophic effects for, of course, the country using them, but for many others as well.
A former staffer for the January 6th Investigating Committee, Denver Riggleman, says he discovered connections among 6 main groups involved in the insurrection. He spoke to 60 Minutes.
We don't have text content. We do have how long they talk, when they talk. That is very important. And really does suggest that there was much more coordination than the American public can even imagine when it came to January 6th.
Riggleman is a former Republican congressman who was twice endorsed by Donald Trump. Italian voters may have elected a prime minister who's making history in more
political creed to history, and she represents a modern conservative right-wing government. Well, it looks like she has won very decisively, and it looks like now she will attempt to form a right-wing coalition government.
The Mexican Army's role in the disappearance of 43 college students and the Army's alleged links to organized crime have moved to the center of a case that's angered and shaken the nation. The government's Truth Commission has declared the 2014 murders a state crime, and 3 members of the military and a former federal attorney general have been arrested. This is CBS News. If you need to hire, you need Indeed. Their end-to-end hiring system helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all at the same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
If you have a small business, Staples has your sign.
Banners for my bakery?
Staples has your sign.
Oh, posters for my new pet store.
More decals for pharmacy. Every day, Staples associates help every kind of small business create bold signs to make big impressions. And now, get $10 off custom signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. This is your sign, so print it big at Staples. Connect.com/this is your sign for details. Hey listener, welcome to Limu's Karaoke. Where Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need, and the music never stops. Hit it. There's Limu with a full-time job. His partner does what Limu with a hard job. Grocery runs, that's what Limu eats. Gotta fuel up money and get some street. Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com.
The biggest Barbados export soon appear on a very big stage.
It's official. Rihanna will host a Super Bowl halftime show next year in Arizona. The singer confirmed posting an image of her hand holding up a football on Instagram. And the NFL's getting in on the fun, too. It's changed several social media bios to the National Fenty League. Fenty is Rihanna's multi-million-dollar company. And fans are also buzzing online because the upcoming show could mean new music is finally on the way. Rihanna hasn't put out a new album since 2016. The Super Bowl set for February 12th. Monica Ricks, CBS News.
Tesla CEO Elon Musk will spend Monday, Tuesday, possibly Wednesday in a deposition facing lawyers for Twitter. A planned 5-day-long trial is scheduled in Delaware in October that will determine whether Musk has to buy the company for $44 billion. Giovanni agreed to pay for it before he backed out of the deal. Christopher Cruz, CBS News.
KCBS News Time 105. Time for our 1 o'clock replay of 60 Minutes.
If Russia stops fighting, the war ends. If Ukraine stops fighting, Ukraine ends. I'm Bill Whitaker. I'm Andrew Cooper.
I'm Sharon Alfonsi.
I'm John Werther.
I'm Scott Billy. Those stories and more tonight on 60 Minutes.
You're listening to 60 Minutes on All News 740 and FM 1069 KCBS.
Here in California, people from every nation add to our rich heritage of culture and traditions. The legal team at Napa Law speaks 9 different languages. Our personal injury lawyers are exceptional. Our paralegals, legal assistants, and case managers are exceptional. And they work hard because every one of them cares deeply about what you are going through. They want to make sure you are going to be happy in the future. Something bad happened to you, you feel stress, you feel anxiety, you're not sleeping well, there are problems in the family, you have a lot of uncertainty. We know what you're feeling. When something bad has happened to you, you need help, financial help, and we're here to make sure you get that help. We cover all the expenses. Our only compensation is a percentage of what we win for you. We are Habs Law. Call us at 1-800-INJURE. I'm Omar Habs, and I want to be here at HabsLaw.com. HAWAS.
KCBS First Report traffic in the traffic center this morning. Frank Phoenix.
And we are taking a look at a problem in Bay Point, westbound 4, just before Port Chicago Highway. Or was a problem. There was a whole bunch of debris, some traffic cones dumped in the far right lane that have now been moved to the shoulder. We still may have some flashing lights on the shoulder of the McKee Road on-ramp to northbound 101. That's the eastbound McKee on-ramp to northbound 101. That's because we have a car that veered out of control and through a fence on City Street adjacent to the on-ramp. So again, we still have crews there. That's on the eastbound McKee Road on-ramp to northbound 101. Traffic when you need it on the traffic leader KCBS.
In the forecast, some clouds and fog overnight with lows in the 50s. After the clouds burn off, then the fog will be a mostly sunny afternoon. Temperatures today in the 60s, low 70s at the coast.
After humiliating defeats in Ukraine, Russian President Vladimir Putin told his people that the U.S. is bent on destroying the Russian homeland. On Wednesday, he drafted 300,000 reservists and threatened nuclear war. This is not a bluff, he said. Ukraine dominated this past week's annual gathering at the UN General Assembly in New York, attended by President Biden and more than 120 world leaders. Friday, we met the U.S. Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, to talk about a world of challenges and Putin's nuclear threat. How concerned should Americans be about the prospect of nuclear war?
Scott, we've heard a lot of irresponsible rhetoric coming out of Vladimir Putin, but we're focused on making sure that we're all acting responsibly, especially when it comes to this kind of loose rhetoric. We have been very clear with the Russians publicly and as well as privately to stop the loose talk about nuclear weapons.
Privately, the United States has been in communication with the Kremlin about these threats of nuclear war.
Yes, it's very important that Moscow hear from us and know from us that the consequences would be horrific, and we've made that very clear.
You call the nuclear talk loose talk, but isn't Vladimir Putin telling us what he's going to do if he is backed any further into a corner?
Vladimir Putin has a clear way out of the war he started, and that's to end it. If Russia stops fighting, the war ends. If Ukraine stops fighting, Ukraine ends.
Is there anyone in the Kremlin who can tell Vladimir Putin no if he decides to launch a battlefield nuclear weapon?
They have a chain of command. Whether it works or not, to be seen. But I think what you're pointing to is a larger challenge, and that is the Achilles heel of autocracies anywhere. There is usually not anyone who has the capacity or the will to speak truth to power. And part part of the reason I think Russia has gotten itself into the mess that it's in is because there is no one in the system to effectively tell Putin he's doing the wrong thing.
In our interview last week, President Biden told us that he had a message for Vladimir Putin on the use of nuclear weapons. Don't. He went on to say the U.S. response would be consequential. What did he mean by that?
I'm not going to get into what the consequences would be. Any use of nuclear weapons would have catastrophic effects for, of course, the country using them, but for many others as well.
If you can't give us specifics about a U.S. response, can you tell us that the administration has a plan?
We do.
Is it a plan that would prevent World War III?
President Biden has been determined that as we're doing everything we can to help the Ukrainians defend themselves, as we're doing everything we can to rally other countries to put pressure on Russia, we're also determined that this war not expand, not get broader.
Excuse me, as we were speaking to Secretary Blinken, news broke that a UN investigative commission had found evidence of rape and torture of children in Russian-occupied Ukraine. The panel goes on to say, based on the evidence gathered by the commission, it has concluded that war crimes have been committed in Ukraine. What does justice look like for Ukraine?
Justice looks like accountability. Accountability for those who perpetrated these war crimes, these atrocities, as well as for those who ordered them.